Hello.
Hey.
It's been a couple weeks again.
Yeah,
We're tired.
we're back.
We're back. We're jet lagged. For those of you that don't know, we just got back from South Korea. We'll post about that later. Um, Recently, not just recently, but often. So the whole reason we started this podcast was because people ask us about our marriage. They're like, "You guys are lovey-dovey. You're like very affectionate and like hashtag couple goals, not like humble brag, right?
Yeah,
But like we started it because those same people often will reach out and be like, hey, here's what I'm going through in my marriage, or here's this situation, and how would you guys handle it? And it's like really humbling.
it is. Yeah.
And while those things, like, while it's true, we are affectionate, and I love this guy. Um,
Not to say that we are perfect
Case in
or
point,
go about, or have our disputes or arguments.
yes.
And we agreed at the beginning of this to be honest with each other and like honest with you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
When we started our podcast, it was like we're gonna just peel those layers back.
Yeah.
So, case in point, we got back from Korea on Wednesday night and spent the better part of Thursday and Friday fighting.
Yeah.
We wanted to talk to you about kind of like the reality of that. Like,
Yeah, the ins and outs of, I guess, how to fight fair.
yeah, but
And how to-
also like we've been together for 21 years. We're still fighting about the same crap.
Yeah.
Like
or
there's
even stupider stuff.
maybe even stupider because we were like it's like we were tired and jet lagged and like annoyed and like like and so like that's reality when you're with somebody for even like any amount of time, like you're gonna bicker, you're gonna fight.
Yeah. 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 It's life.
So the question is, A, like why does this happen, and B, what can we do about it, right? Like if we want to continue to have a happy marriage, which we do, how is it that like what have we learned that we can share with you guys as to like why this happens and what to do about it? So
Yeah.
one of the things that has, like we were just talking about this before we got started, one of the things for me was this idea, just thinking about the why. We're currently like we've been listening to a lot of different books and whatever, like audio, because we had a long drive to get to different places. One of the things that got brought up was just in one of the books that we're listening to was just this idea that like nothing of value, like real value, comes without struggle.
Yeah.
And sometimes I want to say that that's true of our relationships too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, kind of that grit creates character. The failure leads to success.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. And I think in that same book, he put it as like, you fail, and it's not to strive to perfection because that's not possible, but it's to like suck less or to be less crappy. Right? You're trying to do everything a little bit better.
A little bit better each time.
Yeah.
And that's just it, is that like hopefully we are,
And you learn.
yeah, hopefully we're like better people than we were 20 years ago.
Or the day before.
Or the day before. Like hopefully this fight that we had last week, hopefully that leads us to a better spot, right? And so the struggle is necessary. Like I think if you got to the end of your marriage and you were like, we never, ever, ever had a fight or an argument, we always agreed about everything, I don't think you'd be telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just don't know that two people can agree, but like actually it was one of my favorite quotes of all time is that if we both agreed about everything, one of us wouldn't be necessary. Because like you need other opinions and that's how you grow. Like if your echo chamber is in your own house,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I think that you have to have I will speak for myself. I have to have somebody who's willing to be like, let's think about this differently.
No, and I think we both do that well, surrounding ourselves with a variety of lifestyles, people, religions.
But also like you think differently than I think.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Um
But and I think I like that framing, just because like I think back to the past and like even like our time in Germany,
yeah.
and I romanticize it almost, or it's like everything's seen with like rose-colored lenses, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
But I know we know like when we think about it or like focus on it, you know, our time in Germany wasn't perfect. There was we
That first year
it
was
struggled.
hard.
It was there was a lot of struggle, a lot of stress. But now that it's done and we've done it and miss it and lots of parts of the aspects of that, but
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't easy.
No.
And we learned a lot. And,
we were stretched
yeah.
in so many ways. We had to. I mean, we spent 2 years without a car. We had to like learn how to carry the groceries. Like just little stretches, but also very big ones. How do we live? Like we had to. It was actually the first time I would say, for real, like we didn't have a crutch of our families anymore.
No, yeah.
You know, like we'd always had like our parents to help take care of the kids, or
Yeah.
you know.
So it was full reliability on each other, but it was
Mm-hmm.
also, it wasn't always so peachy keen, right? It was.
Yeah, we
struggled. So
we had our struggles too. So
I think that's the same with marriage, though. When we look back on, the last 20 years,
mm-hmm.
we wouldn't be where we are without the struggles that we've had so far.
Yeah.
And the growth that I've had to do or you've had to do, whether that's pushing into each other or pushing into some sort of counseling or mentorship from a mentor, or
Yeah.
like any kind of self-help or whatever. It's we've come a long way.
So if you are in that situation and you and your spouse are whether newly married or you've been married a while, I want you to be encouraged and just know that like there's purpose behind your struggle. There's purpose behind your fights. There's purpose behind like learning to grow yourself and together. And to that, like I would say then going into your arguments with the perspective of we are in this so that we can continue to grow together.
Yeah. I mean,
instead of like, oh, like, man, like this is, we're not gonna make it. Like if you like go in with a different attitude of like, I'm gonna choose you at the end of this.
Yeah, that's the big takeaways at the end, and to do it and to know how to communicate well and navigate. We call them landmines, like we said in the past. Just how to navigate communication styles, and also, and when you do communicate or you have these arguments, is to have that, like what Rebecca just said, is in the back of your head, is like, at the end of the day, I love you. At the end of the day,
you're still my person,
you're my
even
best friend.
though you're driving me crazy.
Yeah, and so, and that choosing your words carefully, because you don't want to say something or actually do something that would hinder that trust.
Yeah, once it's said, it's out there, right? And you can't, as much as you want to, sometimes you can't take your words back. You can't take your actions back. Like once it's done, it's done. But also, I think on the opposite, like on the receiving end of it, one of the things that has really struck me and is that, especially in recent years, is just this like grace, right? Like I know that you've like, sometimes you're like, oh, you're so like meticulous about words, and I am, because I'm a language arts teacher and I'm a writer and a speaker, and like that's like I think about my words a lot. And
And
I
then
think
just
about other people's
analytical,
words
yeah.
a lot,
And
and
I
I'm
just
very analytical about them, and I'm very like choosy about my words, and so like I need to let go and have grace and realize that not everybody is as choosy about their words. Like that's feedback that I've gotten, and it's been like, okay, here's how I need to personally grow, and like giving grace and realizing that like while that happens to be something that is like I do, that doesn't mean that that's what everybody does, and I can't hold everybody to that same standard that I do.
Mhm.
You know, like so sometimes I think like things are said and you do have to have grace and like realize that like, and again it like it helps I guess in a fight, like if you say something and I'm like, oh, I hate how he said that, I also have to then pause and realize like you're not in this to hurt me, you're not in this because you don't like me, you're in this because you love me, you married me because you love me, because you choose me. And so realizing that about the other person too, like they are here right now because they chose you. Like
Yeah.
staying is a choice. Like all
Yeah.
of this is like you're here because you chose to be here.
And still continue to choose
Yeah.
to be part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think like giving that like not only am I choosing this, but he's choosing this and coming into that with that perspective. And then I think we are limited beings. Again, like, so it's Mark Manson is who we've been listening to.
In this current round, yeah.
In this current round. We've done other books, but we've been listening to Mark Manson. And one of the things last night we were listening and he was like, probably like you're wrong most of the time. Because like, and he says it in a much more vulgar way. But
which we both appreciate.
Which I think is hilarious. It
Yeah.
is a funny book because it's a way of getting you out of your own head and just kind of a funny way of putting things. Anyway, the thing is that like we are limited. I agree with him. Like there's, I to put it in a different way. Like there's times that I love studying. Like one of my favorite things to study is scripture. Like I just really love to study the Bible. And not because of like it's this weird dichotomy where I get really excited and I want to dive in and I'm like I start to understand things more, but the more I understand things, the more I'm led to this like place of surrender, because the more I realize I don't know and that I can't know everything. And that's part of the magic of like studying something like that that's like ancient and so meaningful to so many, right? Like it just is like wow. But like I feel like in life like the same is true. There's so much I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to like surrender a piece of that.
Yeah.
To like, in this situation, here's how I see it, but what if I'm wrong?
Yeah. Or what's the worst? Like if you're wrong, then what? So what?
Yeah.
Right?
Like,
he mentioned that too. Like, so what if you're wrong? What? Then what?
So then we go back to like, okay, so now you know more.
Yeah.
So like learn a little bit, be a little bit better than you were yesterday, and continue to push into that and grow. And I liked that too, where it was like, yeah, because chances are we are all wrong at some point. Sometimes we're right, we're spot on, but you know.
Yeah.
We all like to think we're right a lot of the time anyway. Yeah.
So we fight.
And then ultimately we come together. And that's just it. Is that like the fight is a choice. We choose each other. Forgiveness is also a choice. Grace is also a choice. And ultimately, again, like as hard as it is, there are times, I will say that there are arguments in which I'm like grudging, like I don't want to do that. I don't want to resolve it. I don't want to, like it's just like I'm mad. But ultimately, do I want to live in that space forever? No, I do not.
And I'm the opposite. I think most of the time we fight is I see it as dumb or silly to me.
Yeah.
And it's not worth the energy. It's not worth. I mean, it is, but it's like it's so petty or small in the big picture, and so I kind of just glaze over
Which
it
other
or just walk
people's-
away from it. Which
Like other people's hurts can be that way. They can feel that way towards, like, if it's not important to you, it can feel small, even though it's big to somebody else.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then that causes conflict in itself.
Yeah. But ultimately, like, one of the things that you do well is that even when you're like, oh, good God, and I can see it in you, you still are willing to, like, meet me and
Yeah.
talk about it. And so, yeah, I think, you know, we're doing better now. It just took a couple of days of, like, real, like, to be honest, like, we hadn't slept in like
42
20
hours.
I don't even know how many hours, because we had a 10-hour flight followed by a big long road trip, and neither of us got any sleep really in that, like, span of time that it took to get back home. And then we got back home, and every little thing starts to, like, drive you
Yeah.
crazy.
Things unraveled slowly, but they happened.
Yeah, well, it's like little, like you said, in marriage, sometimes it's like by this point we've reached the, like, it's the little things. Sometimes it's the big things, but often it's the little things. So, you're not alone.
No.
If you're having those arguments and those spats with your spouse,
Yeah.
you're not alone. There's a
Whether-
purpose behind it.
Yeah.
You are fighting because this is going to help you grow together.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind. That growth is good.
Growth is good. We're not always right.
It's a learning experience.
Your spouse is not the enemy. You guys should be partners. Keep that in mind, even when you're mad. And at the end of the day, you get to choose forgiveness and grace. You get to choose, do I stay angry? That is a choice. So you can choose that.
Yeah.
And in marriage, hopefully you make the choice to just continue to choose each other, to appreciate each other. And forgiveness and grace goes a long, long way, because you're also going to need forgiveness and grace.
Yeah.
So, like, if your partner has hurt you, extend it, knowing that you are also going to hurt them at some point, and you're going to need it.
Yeah.
So, because we're humans, and we're going to, it would, like, that's the thing. While we don't know everything, we are also horribly flawed, and we're going to keep messing up. But at least we mess up in an upward fashion, right? We just, like, keep climbing, maybe.
That's right.
Yeah. Because it's too late to back out now.
That's right.
So, you know, there's no starting over. This is it. So, hopefully you got something out of that.
Yeah.
If nothing else, just know that
We're not perfect.
at all.
What you see on social media is
Yeah. All those
a
happy,
curtain.
like, the happy photos, they're great and they are happy. But also, it would be kind of weird if I posted, like, all the, like, well, now we're not happy. But it does happen. So, just figured you guys should know.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. And we'll Korea tidbits soon.
Yeah, we're going to post a Korea video soon. So, keep an eye out for that. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.